welcome to the final episode of T3 versus Terminator Salvation. And today we're going to cover plot. T3 is just basically a chase sequence. I mean, the whole thing, they're being chased, they're running. They have a little exposition here and there. And, like, maybe partway through the movie, there's finally a little plot, you see, because Judgment Day is just a few hours away. Maybe like 4 or 5 hours, I can't remember. And John Connor says, okay, we're stopping Judgment Day. And Arnold's all like, well, we can't do that because you cannot stop Judgment Day. You can just basically prolong the inevitable. And John Connor then threatened suicide, so Arnold decides the best thing to do is to try to stop Judgment Day. So that's what that's about. But yeah, you can only really look at it as really an action movie because that's what 90% or more is made up in the movie. I mean, there's a couple scenes where it's for characters to evolve, but those are so few and far between. And then you have Captain Brewster, and you do not want to deal with your character at all. He's just like, oh God, I already discussed that in the first episode, but her character and John Connor's do evolve. Near the end of the movie, Captain Brewster shoots one of the machines, and John Connor remarks that she reminds him of his mother, and then he goes off to marry her. I mean, there's flirting not really throughout the movie, but you're pretty certain once those two pop on screen that they're going to first hate each other, then they're going to fall in love with each other. I mean, I guess that was before I found out that Catherine Brewster was going to become his wife in the future. And Terminator Salvation is not a chase scene, but there are a bunch of action sequences, and they do last for a little bit, but they're fun to watch. They're really enjoyable. I felt you better got to see the characters in Terminator Salvation than in T3. And the whole sort of plot of Terminator Salvation is trying to stop the machines. That's basically it. And everything else evolves from that point, such as Marcus Wright is sent by the machines to basically lay into a trap where the Skynet captures Kyle Reese, then Marcus Wright is to lead John Connor to them. And of course, as some people have pointed out, one of the plot holes in there is that why don't the machines kill Kyle Reese, once they captured him? Because, that's easiest. If you don't want the father of John Connor to live, kill him. But then I read some things where a person replied, well, they just don't know if Kyle Reese is really the father. I mean, maybe he wasn't the original father of John Connor. That goes into the whole other thing of paradoxes, which people seem to have real fun of, and there's like 3 or 4. You can go to Terminator Wikipedia, and they'll list the paradoxes for you if you're interested at all. And Terminator Salvation has some good characters, mainly Marcus Wright is probably the best character in there. I've heard some reviewers say that they couldn't really stand the other characters, but they could stand Sam Worthington, who plays Marcus Wright. So I guess it's like, now decide which one is better by plot, because plot is probably the deciding factor, because all movies can have some good things going for them, but if you don't have an interesting story, you can't really go anywhere. So, without further ado, I am going to say who the winner is, and it is Terminator Salvation. And the final score is Terminator 3, 2 points, and Terminator Salvation, 3 points. So if you have to decide between T3 and Terminator Salvation, see Terminator Salvation. See you next time.